Disruption. When I say that word, what does it make you think about? Disruption defined is a disturbance or problems that interrupt an event, activity, or process. By its definition, it says the word problem. But today, disruption has a completely different meaning. When we think of disruption, most people these days, we don't think of problems, we think of solutions. And when we think of disruption, we think of technology and how it's completely changing our lives and industries around the world. When's the last time you stood at a corner to hail a taxi or went to a store to buy a music CD? And how many of you have always wanted to be a hotelier? Uber, Spotify, and Airbnb have completely changed their industries, and they've changed the way all of us interact. They've done it by putting the power in the hands of the people with a smartphone, a tablet, or a laptop. Technology has changed all of our lives, and it's only going to change even more as we move forward. But as you look up on the screen and see these other companies, the one industry that you don't necessarily think of is healthcare. But technology is changing healthcare just on the side that we don't see, because it's really focused on the efficiency of the system, not so much on the patient yet. But that's going to change. And that change is because patients are going to say, I want something that's going to help me. What I would like to talk about today, and I challenge you to think about disruption in healthcare, not just from a technology point of view, but from a people point of view. Patients and pharmacists are the new disruptors in healthcare. And let me tell you why. We'll start with patients. Many of you have seen Norman Rockwell paintings of the doctor making house calls. He's got his black bag, his stethoscope. He's coming to you at your home when you're sick. But over the last few decades, we've gone from this really personal type of healthcare to one that's impersonal. It's focused on the system. You, the sick person, have to come to me, the doctor. Something a little wrong with that. But now put yourself and think about the last time you were sick. You feel terrible. You want to get seen. So you pick up the phone, you call the doctor's office, you cross your fingers because you hope that the doctor's in and you can actually get seen that day. You get an appointment, you drive to the doctor's office, and then you wait. And you wait, and you wait. Eventually, the doctor comes in to see you, talks to you for a few minutes, and if you're sick enough, he might give you a prescription, and then you'll go to the pharmacy and wait some more. That whole process could take 3 hours of your day when you feel terrible. From a patient perspective, that's suboptimal. Now, what's happening in healthcare with transformation with technology is we are bringing healthcare back to the home. Think about the next time you're sick. You can get out of bed or just roll over. You turn on your computer, you log on to Doctor in Demand or Zipnosis, you answer a few questions, and guess what? The doctor shows up on your screen. The doctor has come to you. Technology has made the 360-degree transformation of personal to impersonal back to personal again. The patient has to be at the center. When we think about what's happening in the future with transformation, with technology, the patient is going to drive this. Because for the first time in history, patients are partners. The doctor knows best way of thinking is gone. Patients are saying, this is my life, it's my health, it's my business. Give me the tools I need to get engaged in my care. And they're going to start transforming things like we've never seen before. I have a patient named Sarah. She came to me because she had uncontrolled diabetes and her kidneys were starting to fail. I asked her, why are your sugars so bad? And she said, I have all these medicines, and I don't know which is which. I don't know what to do with them. Some of them make me feel bad, but I don't know which one, so I just don't take them. When I met her, she was getting hospitalized 4 times a year. She was a mess, quite frankly. I asked her, have you talked to anyone about that? She said, my doctor's got 15 minutes with me, and 10 minutes of that time is sucked up with administrative stuff, so there's not enough time to talk to my doctor about the stuff that I want to get across. The current team of healthcare, the doctor, the patient, and the nurse who helps us, is not adequate. It doesn't give patients the options they need to get the care they need to get better. So think about the dream team. And this is what's happening now, and it's going to go all across medicine. In my world of kidneys, this is what we use because kidney disease patients are complex. We have the patient in the middle. We have the primary doctor and the specialist. We have our nurses and PAs. But what we've added to this is the health coach, either from the insurer or the companies that you work for. Your family caregiver. Either you're taking care of someone or someone's taking care of you. Technology is weaving this all together. And the person that most people don't recognize as a member of this team is the pharmacist. The pharmacist is the forgotten member of the healthcare team. And that's really too bad, because if you think about Sarah and her example, her issue was medicines. Who knows more about medicines than a pharmacist? I call pharmacists the doctor on the bench. And why? Because they're doctors. Most people have no idea that pharmacists are doctors, but for the last 20 years, everyone that's graduated from pharmacy school graduates with a doctorate in pharmacy. And with that comes knowledge, experience, and expertise that I don't have and never will have. The doctor on the bench has to get in the game. And how are we going to do that? Because they are the ones who can help our patients because we can't do it ourselves. If you think about Sarah, what we did for her is we set her up with a pharmacist to do something called medication therapy management, where she spent an hour with a pharmacist who went over every single medicine, how they interact with each other, what she might feel like, and told her and educated her about this. I can't do that. But most importantly, she got better. This problem, Sarah's problem, not taking her medicines, is called medication non-adherence. It's considered the biggest fixable problem in healthcare today. It's a $300 billion, with a B, billion-dollar problem in this country. That's 10% of our total healthcare spend. So when you think about who does this affect, it affects all of us. We talk right now about the cost of healthcare. It affects insurers, it affects employers, it affects you, because it's your pocketbook, your copay that's being affected by this. And more importantly, it affects your health. This problem exists for one reason. Over the last 25 years, healthcare has changed. People are so into the power of the pill that every time you go somewhere to the doctor or whatever, everyone wants a pill. Give us more medicine. And the drug companies are happy to do that because they're making a ton of money. And in many of the cases, pills are the right answer. But it's an interesting statistic, but in 1989, there were 300 million people in this country. Now there's 350 million. In 1989, there were 700 million prescriptions written. Last year, over 4 billion. That's 6 times as many. And why? Because chronic disease plays a role. Think of Sarah. She's not taking 1 or 2 tablets. She's taking 5 or 6 or 7 multiple times a day because she needs to take these meds to get better. When I think about how we're going to transform healthcare and what we're going to do it as a team. And it's this new team that isn't just me. When I think of myself and my colleagues as doctors, we've been trained that we are the answer to everyone's medical problem. We're the solution. As much as we want to be, we can't be. Because in today's healthcare world, we have too many limitations. Our capacity isn't there. What I'm trying to do and what I want to do, and I think the future of medicine is going to do, is bring that doctor off the bench into the game, and instead of playing a support role, they're going to play a starring role on that patient's team to help them get better. There are 300,000 pharmacists in this country who are waiting to get into the game, and we need to let them. So when I think back to Sarah, the last time I saw her, When she came to me, her A1C, which is a marker of diabetic control, was terrible, 12%. When I saw her last time, 7%, which is normal. Her kidney function had stabilized. She looked awesome. And the coolest thing, she hadn't been in the hospital for 18 months. It wasn't Dr. Shah who saved her and got her better. It was Dr. Smith, her pharmacist. So with technology and the future of technology being driven by patients and pharmacists joining our team in a way like never before, these are the new healthcare disruptors. Thank you.